Hello and welcome, dear viewers, to a brand new episode of your show, The Untold. Well, today is going to be very special and fascinating because we're going to talk about so many cool things, Fatma.
Yes, and one of those cool things is AI.
Yes.
And we have our guest, Hamad AlAli from Hamad Learns. And if you don't mind me talking a little bit about him.
Go ahead.
I have it here. Hamad, who has been transforming the digital landscape actually with his insights into productivity, time management, and the revolutionary world of artificial intelligence, which is going to be what we focus on today. As a prominent content creator, Hamad AlAli has been empowering individuals to optimize their lives through technology, which is something I would like to learn from Mr. Hamad. So we're going to delve into the fascinating realm of efficiency and innovation with Hamad, and I can't wait actually to start that.
Yes, can't wait. I'm
Yeah.
excited. So let's take a break and get back with Hamad. All right, so welcome to the studio, Hamad. We're
Thank
so
you.
happy and excited to have you with us.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy and it's a pleasure being here.
All right, so as a content creator, you have to be creative to grab the people's attention or the followers. So we have got so many questions to ask regarding your field. So definitely, yes, if you would like to
Yes.
ask Fatma.
Yes, of course. Welcome, Hamad. And
Thank you.
the first thing we want to ask is, can you share with the audience how you got started as a content creator? And also, please tell us more about the content that you create.
Okay, so I never intended on becoming a content creator. All right, so it kind of happened. Destiny kind of, put me in the path of content creation. But I did feel one thing when I was watching a lot of the videos that I used to consume, like on YouTube, for example, and many of those videos happen to be actually on similar topics to the topics that I'm presenting right now. So I felt that this is the first thing was that this is nice, this is cool. I enjoy what I'm watching. That was the first thing. The second thing I felt was maybe I could do this. That was the second thing, and then the third thing that was especially. Before launching the channel, I felt a bit of I was shying away from watching those videos, but then I realized
Your videos?
no, the other videos that I was consuming, right, on YouTube, for example, and various different platforms, but mainly on YouTube, and this was maybe kind of my subconscious mind telling me, Hamad, you got to do this.
You have to start.
You have to start. So there's a part of me that's like not happy that I've not started. And then eventually I started. And the channel is called Hamad Learns. And basically, I have many different passions in various things and, like to learn about different things. And so basically I try to share many of those things that I learn.
Was it
But-
difficult starting the whole thing?
It was difficult.
I mean, you need equipment, you need so many things to start.
Yeah, it's very
yeah.
interesting that you mentioned this because what happened over the last few years is that I've always had a home studio.
That's nice.
Okay.
So you were prepared.
I've always had a home studio. I've not produced any. I'm producing the content. I'm keeping it on my hard disk, but I've always had a home studio with the foam reflectors, or the dampeners. I beg your pardon. And I had the Rode mics and everything,
The lights
and the lights.
camera.
So it's kind of like my subconscious mind is telling me, Hamad, please, just post something.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you're already ready for that.
He's prepared.
You're
He
prepared.
got everything.
Just start doing the,
He needed
Just
the
hit-
push.
just upload. Yeah,
Just hit
play
record.
or record.
Record.
Yeah. And in your content, you also talk about productivity.
Yes.
And to me, it's very important. To a lot of people, it is important. And what inspired you to present this topic, and how does it affect people positively?
Okay, so productivity is one of the things that I discuss in my topics, like in my videos, I beg your pardon. So I've discussed things such as I've made a video on persuasion, some using some various persuasion techniques. I'm focused mostly on self development. I've had a video that is kind of like a little documentary. But productivity is the one thing that you could help someone with without getting so deep into their life, without having to understand their psyche. You can just give a person a bunch of tools and a bunch of maybe tricks, kind of, tap them on the shoulder, nudge them, redirect them a little bit, and then all of a sudden you see that you can inspire change.
Yeah, he inspired me actually to read books, by the way. In
That's
one of his
amazing.
posts, yes, yeah, you've got that post saying that what's the I'd say the pros of reading books, right?
Of course, yeah.
So yeah, this is one of the cool things that you can learn out of the social
That's
media, and
for
of course
sure.
your account, yeah.
That's
Yes.
for sure. That's for sure. Yeah.
And also, what struck me, or what really impressed me, when I first saw your page on Instagram, and it says Hamad Learns,
Yeah.
right? Now, no, it should be Fatma learns from Hamad, Dej learns from Hamad. Why did you choose Hamad Learns? Aren't you the one teaching us? And I thought that was brilliant.
That's a very good question. So, I mean, I don't know. I think it comes from a place of a humility. At the end of the day, we're all learners.
Learners every
Right?
day.
We're all trying to learn different things. And so what I'm trying to do is just share a little bit of the things that I've learned that I think are useful. So my passion is really the learning. I'm focused on, obviously, productivity right now, which is really an umbrella term for many of the other things that I've produced.
Right. Wow.
So Hamad, you like in the content that you upload, you mentioned the AI quite a lot.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So can you elaborate and tell us more about the use of AI during these days?
Well, look, so right now we are in an AI revolution. Okay, it started in 2022, 30th of November. I remember I was in Oman. I was on vacation. And then OpenAI, they released ChatGPT.
Yes.
And the first day it came out, I downloaded, and I wasn't a download, I beg your pardon. I went to the website.
Yeah, it's a website, yeah.
And I interacted with it. And I was blown away. Okay, I was blown away.
It's scary, by the
Yeah,
way.
Yes.
it is scary. Yeah.
And I remember I was like fixated on the screen. I could speak to this thing. It was like a living thing.
Yeah, it's almost like a person. You're talking to someone.
Exactly. So in the realm of productivity, now OpenAI is what's called a large language model. It's known as an LLM. And so these LLMs, they help productivity massively. I use it for different things at work, in my professional work. I use it for data analysis. I use it to, I've ditched Excel and I use the data analysts in OpenAI, in ChatGPT.
Wow. So you can actually give it commands.
You can count on it.
100%.
It's not like Google.
Yes, so Google is a tool to collect information, right? Whereas ChatGPT is a problem-solving tool, or those LLMs are problem-solving tools. So this is kind of the distinction.
Is there a misconception where people, they have towards AI that you can help us, or the audience to navigate through or understand more? Like when people know about Hamad, that he knows about AI, what do they ask you that you immediately know? No, this is a misunderstanding of the tools. You cannot use them that way. For example, I want the tools to write me a movie or a novel. Is that possible? What are the misconceptions?
A misconception is that it's not strong enough, or it's not good enough, or it's not creative enough.
Okay.
It is very creative.
Wow.
With
the right command.
With the right command, exactly.
Okay.
It's interesting that you bring this up. Another misconception is that you would need a steep learning curve to understand the tools. You don't. You just need to ask the right questions.
That's interesting.
And you need to communicate. So basically, you need to hone your communication skills in order to speak better to that large language model.
Wow.
So this is another misconception. A few things that probably come to mind. There is one that I don't know if it's a misconception or not, that one day AI is going to reach a level where it could, threaten.
Well, it's already threatened our jobs.
I mean,
This is not a misconception. I don't think
This
so.
is scary.
Okay.
If you don't mind me just mentioning one other thing
Yeah.
on Sora.
Go ahead.
Okay, so Sora is not released yet, like to the public. But what's interesting about artificial intelligence is there is something called an emergent property. So basically, if I were to teach an AI
Yes.
how to identify an image, it would also learn how to describe an image. It's an emergent property. It's an emergent property. It's not. I didn't teach it how to describe images. I taught it just how to identify images. So that's an emergent property. Am I making sense here?
Yes.
All right. So now with Sora is able to generate very realistic videos. Very realistic videos. So as an emergent property, Sora learned how, for example, physics.
Okay.
How for example, fluid dynamics work.
Okay.
Because Sora learned how to generate those videos.
This is interesting.
It's an emergent property.
Okay,
And this is crazy.
Now, for Fatma and Dej, we are on a for example, we're shooting a video on TV, talking to people about the dynamics of physics, let's say, right?
Okay.
Sora can replace us in teaching and in actually giving the same piece of information for the people.
I'd like to think no, okay? Because
Because
obviously
we're
because
fearful for our jobs.
to be honest, like to have the human touch is still different.
Okay.
But is it going to be different for how long is it going to be different? I mean, I don't know.
Is it going to learn how to mimic the human touch?
I don't-
Maybe
yes. I
because
mean, I don't
it's
know.
going to develop. Yeah.
I have no idea.
That's interesting. It's
Yeah.
fascinating,
It's
actually.
very fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when people actually come to you, Hamad, and they say, we're hesitant to embrace this new productivity tool or AI, what piece of advice would you give them to help them overcome any reservation and start incorporating actually these technologies into their lives? Like you've said, data analysis.
Okay. So I would say that it's not very difficult to use these tools. It's actually quite straightforward. You just need to be able to speak to it. That's one thing. And then the second thing is, I know it gets a little bit overwhelming with the many different AI, with the word AI being thrown around every single tool. So you could just maybe focus on the main large language models such as ChatGPT. For example, Google, they've got Gemini as well. And the third thing I would say is that this is very new. So you are in a very early stage.
Okay.
So we have got a lot to learn in the future, of course, and to see from the fascinating AI. Well, let's take a break, and then we get back to Hamad and know more about this fascinating AI, dear viewers.
Thank you.
Welcome back, dear viewers. We are still here with the entrepreneur, I want to say. I know you don't call yourself that, but Hamad AlAli has taught us so many things in this, 13 minutes that we've talked with you. And thank you very much, Hamad, for
Thank
that.
you. My pleasure.
Beautiful
Absolutely.
information and scary as well.
Yeah.
A little bit. A little bit.
Yes.
So what can we expect from Hamad in the future? In
Well,
terms of content creation.
In terms of content creation, I am very passionate about the content creation, and hopefully I'll be able to hone my skill even more, to produce high quality videos, to be able to connect with a larger audience, and to learn from the audience. So
Wow.
hopefully this is something that we can achieve.
What about, if we have questions and we want to ask for your expertise, do you offer courses, classes, about AI? For example, can we use AI? I have tried using AI in Arabic, actually.
Yes,
And the
I
same
did as well.
command that I would put, yeah, you've tried it too, right? And then maybe you can try in other languages. So, for example, some people have these kind of questions. How can we reach you, or do you give classes? Or?
At the moment, I am not giving any courses. This may be something that I look at down the line for sure. Obviously, Instagram, I'm on Instagram at hamad.learns. So you can definitely, anyone can reach out. They can send me a private message. I'm more than happy to help out with any questions that anyone would have.
That's amazing, actually.
right.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
And your content also emphasizes the value of continuous learning. As we've said, Dej, it's Hamad learns, right? So you learn and we learn.
And we learn as well.
Together, yes. How do you stay curious and motivated into learning and, with all the AI applications and all the technology that's evolving around us?
To be honest with you, how can you not stay curious?
Right?
Right? It's really very interesting what is happening. It's a revolution. My challenge is not staying curious. It's finding that time to be able to share, a lot of these things that I learn. It is balancing the time between producing the content and learning. My passion still remains the learning aspect of it. And so how do I stay curious? I guess I just look at the feed, for example, on YouTube. Whatever you get, it's just very interesting.
Do you take the people's comments as a motivation for you to continue uploading new stuff every day?
Absolutely. The support that I've gotten from some of the followers, and especially from my friends, my family, my amazing wife, my parents, is just absolutely beautiful, and it just really helps me to keep on going when it gets tough.
That's amazing. And that's actually very nicely put. Now, tell us about the challenges, because you've mentioned when it gets tough, right? What are the challenges of a content creator, one like you?
Well, let's start with the first challenge. For me, the first challenge was hitting the record button,
Okay.
All right.
right? And then hitting the upload button. So I got over the record button, but then I had to get over the upload. So you need to be able to be okay with failure, like be just completely comfortable with failing. So this is the biggest challenge as a content creator, and you should I would take it to an extreme and say be willing to be ridiculed.
Okay.
Because if you are willing to because you're exposing yourself for the entire world,
Yes.
right? And if you are okay with viewing failure, not as failure, but as discovery, then it becomes a lot different. Then it becomes more about curiosity, more about how can I look back and make certain tweaks in order to realign myself towards my goal.
To become better.
Yes.
Exactly.
So it's in the
that.
eye of the beholder. It's from your perspective. For example, this is failure. From another person's perspective, maybe that's not failure. How do you decide for yourself? Is it according to your content? Because whatever works for your content may not work for the Age's content or my,
Yes, 100%. So obviously the viewer's feedback is a huge thing, right? At the end of the day, when you're putting this content out, an important aspect, the most important aspect, is the viewer.
Yeah,
It's
them.
true.
It's
It's
them.
true.
Because we are doing this for them.
Yes.
Exactly. But then there is also an element of having to stay true to yourself. And there's also the element of exploration. I could, for example, for a few videos, take maybe the direction of wanting to explore a new technique, a new style at a specific video, and then maybe I go back to the original plan that I have in mind.
Like one of the most common answer to the people who are like content creators, when I ask them what's the challenges or difficulties, most likely they say the content. So maybe it's not the equipment, it's not the place, but the content, because you have to be cautious of the things that you write. If it's a script or you're improvising, it's all up to the content creator himself. So basically, when it comes to you, how do you prepare your content? What comes to your mind before shooting
Okay.
or making the content?
So it's very true that to come up with the content might be challenging at times, especially we find ourselves at times focused so hard at a few things that we forget to like pause for a few seconds, take a step back, and just
Look at the bigger picture.
and
Okay.
look at the bigger picture. So let's go back. Sorry, your question again was.
So how do you prepare your content?
So how do I? Okay, so there are three different ways. One way is obviously I have a plan, and I know that I'm going to be producing, for example, various videos on productivity. So that's one way. Another way is something happens, in life that I could relate to, and I could discuss.
The
So it's
release
like-
of GPT, for example.
For example, go on.
I was about to say, like, do you have someone who inspired you to start?
100%.
You mentioned that you used to watch videos.
Yes,
we all consume.
100%. So I've consumed a lot of Thomas Frank videos, like back in the day, and Ali Abdal, obviously, Matt Devella. Those are some of the people that have inspired me, to be honest
That's
with you.
nice, actually, yes. Because we all needed that push, someone who inspired us, whether
Yes.
it's in content creation, singing, anything else.
Of
Yeah,
course,
definitely.
of course. And so the third thing would be when sometimes people ask a question, and then you respond to the question in the form of a video.
Oh, I like
That-
that.
yeah.
I like when people
That's-
do that. Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I like this.
Yeah. So
It also grabs my attention when I see a video with like on the top corner we have a question from someone, and then the content creator answers. It grabs my
In a
attention.
video,
I want to
yeah.
see what's the answer, what's the
yeah.
question, and that's one cool thing.
Yeah.
That's very true. I think I should maybe do that little trick and
Yeah,
put it
it's
at the
nice.
top and then do it. Thank you. Suggestion taken.
See, Hamad learns. Yeah. And also, if we want to talk more, I mean, we have a lot to talk about, but if we want to talk more about collaboration, and it's for both personal and professional settings, how can individuals use technology to enhance teamwork?
Okay. So let us talk about AI for a second, since
Yes.
that's kind of
I'm
we discussed
interested.
that in a
Yes.
little bit, right? So with
Take notes, Dave. Yes.
with ChatGPT, now there is a Teams, ChatGPT Teams, that they've just released, I think 2-3 weeks ago. So it's
Okay.
very
Right?
new.
That's
very new.
recent. Yeah.
And with ChatGPT Teams, you can create a workspace, and in the workspace you can invite, for example, your colleague, and you can both interact. I beg your pardon, with the AI. So that's one thing. Another thing is you could create a GPT. So basically, what ChatGPT gives you the ability to do is you can train an AI on, like, for example, whatever thing that interests you. Let's say cooking was your thing. You can teach it a bunch of recipes, and then you could share it with your colleague, or maybe you work at a restaurant who is a chef, and then you can both interact with it. So you can share the AIs that you create.
Are you serious
No,
right now?
I'm not serious. I know it's crazy. It's really mind-boggling.
Wow.
I still
Can you
cannot
imagine
believe
the
it. Sometimes I have to
possibilities?
pinch myself
Yes,
just to realize that this is.
the endless possibilities. You can. He just gave us an example of just a GPT that, generates recipes.
For example.
What about generating pictures, paintings, books, poetry?
And we're in the
TV
beginning.
show.
And we're still in the beginning.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
Exactly. And the things that you can
Fascinating.
train it yourself with whatever you want. By the way, you know what I did once? Very interesting. I trained the GPT to speak in a Kuwaiti dialect.
Okay, we have to verify that. Is that on one of your videos? We have to watch it. Yeah.
Yes. So that was a funny one.
I don't even know how you've achieved that. This is amazing. We're very proud that we have a Kuwaiti speaking GPT.
Yes.
Okay, but please tell me you've uploaded it on your Instagram.
No, not.
No, no. Right.
I haven't. That's
Well,
just
we
for
have-
you guys.
Oh, okay, okay. We have to watch it
We
later.
have to see
Yeah.
that later. Yeah. And I would like to know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, something. This is nobody can expect what the future have for us with AI. What are your expectations? Like in like 2, 3, 4 years. I mean, in my personal perspective, I do play video games, and we have now games that they have AI implemented in the games, and it's very nice, scary.
Like a bot?
Like a bot. You can talk to
Okay.
the NPC, the non-playable characters,
Character.
and they can answer. They can talk to you and
Yes.
tell you what are you doing? And
Yes.
this is me. What are you doing here? So I have seen videos, and also have interacted with some games, and it's very nice, fascinating.
Yeah.
Also the way that the bots, the enemies, they interact with you, it's way different. They are more like they're smarter.
Yes.
They think faster. It's not as easy as before. So it's nice.
And
it's
they
challenging.
each have their individual personality.
Yes.
I think I've seen what you're talking about. It's in the Unreal Engine.
okay.
Yes.
Right? They each.
So it's like a person. They have emotions. They have. It's like almost
Do you
someone.
think they're going to understand us one day? Like, for example, I would go on a chat GPT and I would be like, or some husband would be like, why is my wife angry? It's because you were late. You can't do that, man.
Maybe
you know?
if you
Like,
give it.
are we going to reach that level? Because
See-
that's the only thing that's keeping them from the human touch. Because
Yesterday,
yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah,
That's literally yesterday. I was heading to the gym, and I didn't know that this could happen. In one of the social media platforms, there is an AI. You can talk to them. So I usually like send messages what do you think I should train? Like
Yes.
workouts. Give me workouts for chest, let's say.
Okay.
So they give me a bunch of exercises, right? So I was too lazy to do that.
Okay.
So I sent a voice message
Yes.
because it was there, and I didn't know this can happen, right? So I said,
That was on ChatGPT, by the way.
yeah, on Snapchat.
Okay.
There is an AI that you can
Oh,
talk
okay,
to them.
Okay, I
So I
did
was
not
like,
know. Okay.
hey, so today I have a chest and biceps exercise. Well, what do you recommend?
Okay.
And then a list of exercises. They can listen to me.
Yes.
And it was nice. It was fascinating. I didn't know that this is a shortcut.
bye
Yes.
personal trainer,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
There goes your
Unfortunately.
job at the door.
So
Unfortunately, one of them is one of my best friends.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Yes. Bye bye.
Oh no. See, that's difficult because we have to, up our game in order to
to keep
you know-
up with
Yeah.
the AI
But you know
right
what's
now.
interesting is I remember in the elections that Donald Trump first ran in and became president. There was one of the candidates. His name was Andrew Yang, and basically he was discussing something called universal basic income.
Okay.
So the concept of universal basic income is that as societies become more productive and as they are able to generate more value, then people wouldn't need to work as much. And we've seen this over the years, right? I mean, if you talk about the Industrial Revolution, people used to work six days a week, sometimes 7 days a week with like religious breaks, for example. Nowadays, you get 2 weekends, and in some places you even get three weekends.
Right.
So the universal basic income says that because we've become so advanced, and the AI obviously and the various tools that are available are able to generate more value in the form of financial value, then people would need to work less.
That's
And they're able
amazing.
to stay at home and just get a basic salary just for
that's the dream.
being a human
Yeah,
being.
yeah. I mean, for some,
Yes,
we need
still.
our jobs still.
Yeah,
Yeah.
still. Well, I'm afraid we ran out of time, but of course we have so many like different questions
Yes.
about AI, we can discuss maybe later, maybe in another episode.
Another episode,
Yes,
of course.
I would
It'd
love
be
that.
my pleasure.
And of course,
Absolutely.
maybe our also dear viewers would love that too, because this is fascinating.
Yeah, it is.
Well, thank you so much, Hamad.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me. It's such an honor and a pleasure being on your show. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, so we have reached the end of this episode, and that was, I don't know if it's fascinating, scary at the same time. I don't know. You tell me.
Well, can you see that I have a lot of question marks on my head? Yes, like pop in there. I have to understand more about AI because, and we want to thank Hamad because he was trying to explain to us, I'm not an expert on that, and he was trying to explain to us how to use it, how to get the benefits out of AI.
How to even create one.
It's incredible, right?
Yes.
And I'm sure you liked the interview too because
Yeah, definitely.
you were, yeah.
Yes, I mean, we all have this the common feeling towards the AI right now because not probably, I'm 100% sure that this is going to be the future.
Yes. Well, thankfully, we still have our jobs. They're not going to be replaceable by AI.
For now,
yes,
hopefully.
Yeah. So,
But yeah, that was a wonderful episode. I enjoyed every bit of it.
yeah, me too. So, dear viewers, we hope you enjoyed this episode too, and we will see you on another episode, Dej and I, of The Untold.